Hi, I live in Aurora, Ontario. Aurora is a great town with amazing people, where everything is stellar. Even our trash is stellar. In fact, our trash is so good, we call what we put on the curb every week, waste.
Auroran waste is top-of-the-line waste. We don't just throw all our stuff in a trash bag and toss it away like wild animals in uncivilized cities such as Toronto. We lovingly sort our waste every day, so that on that very special of waste collection days, our compost won't intermingle with our recyclables. Believe it or not, we even have separate trucks pick up the separate forms of our high-caliber waste. Because Aurora waste is so prestigious, companies fight to be allowed to collect it. Currently, GFL Environmental is the lucky company. I think we picked this company because their website describes them as dependable, responsible, and environmentally focused.
We strive to provide service excellence for those communities that place their trust in GFL, and we are always dedicated to putting our customers first.
This past week, GFL chose not to collect my waste. As a proud Auroran, you can imagine how upset and bewildered I was. We placed it by the curb with love and care. We sorted it and made sure it met all the standards of the Aurora Waste Collection Guide, but GFL drivers didn't take it. 2 GFL trucks drove by, totally ignoring my waste. They took some neighbors' waste, but not mine. They took some neighbors' garbage, but not recycling, and even more diabolical, they took some neighbors' recycling, but not garbage. The community was stunned. After pulling myself together, I called GFL and asked them why they didn't like my waste this week. A very disengaged and hostile lady on the phone told me that she would get an excuse for me and call me right back. So I hung up and waited. And waited. The suspense was agonizing. What could have been wrong with all of my waste? The wait for her excuse was excruciating. When the angry lady from GFL Environmental called me back, she reported that she had talked to a supervisor. He had talked to the driver who had declined collecting my waste, and she told me that together they all agreed to go with the story that my waste wasn't curbside at the time of collection. She continued to tell me that GFL Environmental didn't care about my side of the story. She made it clear that I should get used to having my waste around for a little while longer, because they could care less about it. She made one thing clear, though, that she knew my address. And by the sound and tone in her voice, I was pretty sure that if I wanted trouble, she was willing to make plenty of trouble for me. I was stunned, depressed, angry, and confused. I reported the call to my neighbors, who were supportive and consoled me, but what I found out next was even more shocking. The same GFL Environmental driver made my neighbor put her own waste in his truck, or he refused to take it. More investigation even revealed that when a relative saw the GFL Environmental driver pass over my waste, she chased him to ask why. The GFL Environmental driver was angry and aggressively told her that his truck was full of Aurora trash already, and his back was hurt. I realized that this was a bigger problem than I had ever imagined. This wasn't a lazy driver who decided to lie and skip some houses to avoid doing his job. This GFL Environmental driver must be so disenfranchised with his company, GFL Environmental, that he was crying out for help. He was clearly not aware of how important his job is to Aurorans. We need our waste collected. I realized that my anger and sadness of being treated like garbage by GFL Environmental employees was misplaced. It was the company that must be at fault. I can only suspect that these employees must be so grossly underpaid and feel so unappreciated that they don't care enough to keep their jobs. To choose not to do their job and then lie about it is a call to action. So I did what any good Auroran would do. I sent a message to our mayor and shared with him this sad story. I also realized that with his sore back and full truck, the best way that I could help my GFL Environmental driver was to lighten his load. If I didn't act, this poor garbage man would have to collect twice as much waste from me next week. I rallied my Auroran spirit and I went to work lovingly packaging up all my great Auroran waste. And I shipped my waste directly to GFL, so this poor injured man with a full truck will not have to suffer with a double load and a double full truck next week.
I even went out and bought a massage coupon for this poor GFL Environmental driver. I'm going to put it on my recycling box for him next week. I sure hope it helps.
And now I'm calling on all Aurorans to contact GFL Environmental and express your outrage against the company that must foster such a poor work environment. I call on you all to help your garbage man this holiday season. Let's band together and show these hard-working and disenfranchised workers we care by mailing your waste directly to GFL and save these poor hard-working men and women's spirits. Let's show GFL Environmental how we feel about them.